Today I want to show you my latest version of an Autobomber. This one is quite handy since it will reduce the lag a lot. So if you have a weak computer, this will be probably the best version you could run. I've yet to see another one that lags as little. Sometimes the game will freeze, but that's like normal because we do breaches and the breaches are full and we just instantly explode pretty much the entire screen, as you will see in the footage. We are gonna use Greater Lightning Bolt, but in this version we are not gonna use an infinite DPS loop, so that will also reduce the resources a lot, meaning less lag. We use Considered Casting, Lightning Mastery, Rising Tempest, and Considered Effect. Rising Tempest you can swap around, but the other three are pretty much best in slot. If you struggle with defense, you can try Shock Siphon. That can regen your energy shield if it goes below your maximum. Quite efficient. However, usually Grim Feast is enough. We're gonna use Blink for cast and dodge. Any level 18 or 19 is fine. I put in Arcane Tempo for more cast speed. Unbreakable, Ingenuity, and Second Wind. These just make it a little bit better. If you don't have Second Wind, you sometimes do double teleports, and it's quite annoying because you don't know where you're going. And it adds a little bit of cooldown, but you can fix it with Ingenuity, but even without it, it should be fine. Freeling is okay. Cast on Critical, we have it in here for the time being for single targets. It's fine without it as well, but until they remove or fix infinite damage loops, we might as well use it for single targets. So Cast on Critical goes Frostwall, Spell Echo, Impetus, Energy Retention, and Fortress. We use Cast on Dodge. We need a 5-link on this and a lot of extra energy gained. So if you have a level 21, it's even better. I mean, minus level 20 from the corruption, but you can get 20 by default and another level on it. But this is just fine. We put in Ice Nova level 1. We don't need any damage on this. This is just a trigger skill. Spell Cascade. I'll get to that in a minute. Ambush. So we always crit on the first hits. Magnified effect for more area of effect. And another Ice Nova because, like I said, I'll get there in a minute. We also use Eye of Winter when we swap for cast on crits for our single target. Just hit it real quick and most bosses die instantly. We put in Leverage, Inevitable Critical, Scattershot, and Unleash. And for the extra spirit version, I have 100 on my scepter. If you can't get it, you can do without. It just less damage. You can get a better base though to fix that somewhat. This is, however, still better damage, not that it's really needed, but yeah. I added Elemental Conflux. The reason I don't use Archmage is Archmage just instantly drains your mana. You do one teleport, quarter is gone, forget about it. So Elemental Conflux is the second best thing. We do cold, fire, and lightning damage, so it actually always applies. We get the biggest benefit on lightning, but cold and fire give us some good extra as well. You can see here, at the moment, this is lightning. It's a lot higher than lightning, fire and cold. However, it's still high enough. Fire goes down quite a lot, but that's fine. We're still one-shotting. Cold is about the same. Now, the way this works is pretty much we're using, or abusing if you want, great, Frost Nova as a trigger for a Greater Lightning Bolt. So cast on dodge triggers every single time. I'll get to the calculation in a minute and show you how much energy you need. We also want to use 2 of them. I'll show you with one real quick, in general what's happening here. As you can see, we do 1 Nova as we leave, and Spell Cascade does 2 more on the sides. That is quite good AoE. If we add a second one, we get 2 more Cascades, meaning a lot of extra AoE. And all of these have 58% crit chance, so above 50, that's all we need. And we got Ambush for another 100%, that brings us to a 100% crits. You can see on the bottom, it legit doubles it, so 50 means 100 with this on full HP targets, and mobs will always be full HP as we arrive. All we do pretty much is teleport around, trigger a Frost Nova, and everything gets crit, and therefore gets hit by the lightning bolt. Mana costs are non-existent. Since you're on level 1 Frost Nova, the level doesn't matter. if you really want to, go for a higher level and get some damage, but I wouldn't see why. My passive tree currently looks like this. I still swap around sometimes between the extra damage and more AoE from either those nodes or those over here. Those are actually pretty good because we do have fire damage. Especially explosion is kind of interesting if we ignite, but I don't think that's really worth it. You can check it out. It's basically just getting crit. Energy shield over here. Evasion energy shield from these. Subterfuge mask, you want to allocate it on your amulet. It's like 15 exalt for the amulet to make sure it's level 19, not level 18 on the Greater Lightning Bolt. And then you just allocate Subterfuge Mask. It's about 75 exalt. These nodes go well with it. All of these. Evasion is very good defense, one of the best things you can get in the game. And these always come with energy shield and evasion. It's pretty much double dipping. If you compare this to this is 15% energy shield. This would be a 24% bonus instead of 15. So these are very powerful over here. We take the critical nodes from over here. Come in handy, especially this one. It's a lot of extra damage. Same like this. We go over here to Dynasm because we need the extra meta energy gained, as I mentioned before. We also go this round to get even more. This is mandatory unless you have more jewels with energy gained, but this is not worth anything anyway because our trigger skills from Greater Lightning Bolt don't count as these trigger spells and therefore don't even get extra damage. We still get the 40% bonus from here because we trigger now Frost Nova with our cast on dodge, so these still apply. Jewels, you need one with mana per kill. Need a lot of meta skill damage gained, as I mentioned, because the Frost Nova double POC takes quite a bunch extra for every single teleport. 15% on this and 5 on this is fine for me. I don't need any extra, so it's about 20-ish%, maybe 18, somewhere around there. But you still need these nodes. You can get those nodes early on instead. That will do, but it comes at the cost of DPS and other things. So if you can get proper jewels, if you can't, go here. Rest of your jewels is pretty much something like this. Crit, elemental damage, energy shield, whatever you can get. More damage if you want. You can get double spell, not double spell, but spell damage, elemental damage, and double crits. Whatever it is you think you want. I went with this because some extra defense doesn't hurt. I'm on level 98 now and I don't feel like dying, so yeah. Yeah, same one goes for this. And I at the moment use Raw Power and Dreamcatcher for additional damage. They both give me quite a bunch. 25 from here. I'm always on full energy shield pretty much. And 20% from here, plus 10% intelligence, which is another 2% extra damage over here. So 22%. But once again, you can use another rare jewel like this or whatever you have. Just make sure it's a 4-stat for the build and you should be fine. Can be anything. One more thing though. I'm level 98 like mentioned, so you might wanna not use these nodes in the beginning. I would highly recommend keeping the defense. The crits, you need to stay above 50 and these always come with quite well extra damage. You can pretty much double it with 15% over here, 40% over here, and another 40% over here. You see this is pretty much 100% spell damage extra, which is quite a bunch. I'll go over my gear real quick. You can go with a level 4 one, level 3 if you really have to. I still have Sigil of Power on my back. It's not really necessary. You can put whatever you like. Killjoy for the double on-kill effects. Ingenuity. Temple Toe, because we need them for the overkill damage. We need to spread this. Rings with whatever you can get. Mainly you want to fix your rest with it. But if you can get rings like this for extra DPS, that's always good, especially cast speed. You need Sacred Flame. It seems to be the best DPS plus spirits. So you could try out a 2-skill focus, for example. That should also be a lot of damage. However, I think this is better, especially coming with spirit. Combining that with elemental conflux is a lot of extra damage. And I don't think you can beat it. You might be able to though. In any way it works. So if it works with an focus as well, go for it. Amulets is Show of the Storm. This gives us the greater lightning bolt. My helmet comes with 30 spirit as well, which is kind of mandatory. You can try a cheaper version. I haven't seen anything like this on the market. I made this myself, so I don't know. Kind of hard. Sorry about that. You could take the unique one with 100 spirit, but you would lose a lot of energy shield. But there's, I believe, another node that turns energy evasion into energy shield or something like that. Since you get a lot of evasion from your helmet, that kind of works. I'm just trying to give you some second recommendations here, so you have some room to work with, since I realized this helmet is quite hard to beat or quite hard to get. There's cheaper ones with less energy shield for sure. Once again, you're gonna tank energy shield and evasion, since subterfuge mask translates energy shield into evasion. So you can check it out, try it if you find it cheap one for a couple of exalts and see what happens. However, try to find other solutions if you can. Temporatus is mandatory. This is the most expensive part of the gear. The rest can be kinda whatever, as long as you meet this. But if you check the markets, they are very expensive. So yeah, Temporatus is definitely not cheap, but it's absolutely worth it. That's everything you need to know about this build. I will add some more gameplay from different maps. Some are narrow, like Crypt, some are open, just so you see that it works in any kind of map. Just gonna explain this real quick. If there is no other way to go for Frostwall, but beyond and our back, the cascade will go that way. So we will have frost numbers in front of you. It clears paths like Mire really well. So even if you have to do these maps, because you want to transition to actual maps that you want to farm, this one goes super fast in there. Spark is of course really good there too, so, and stuff like this, even as a trigger. But Frost Nova feels a lot better. I've been playing with Spark for weeks, and I changed to this. Had to work around quite a bunch here, but this feels a lot more reliable. And like I said before, it is way less laggy. You can actually map on this, probably maybe even on a console. You could try it out. Let me know if you figure it out. If you can, I would love to hear about it in the comment section below. Anyways, this is all. I'm gonna add the gameplay, and yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you. Have a good one.